with the September 15th deadline to respond to the High Desert Quality of Life Survey fast approaching.
We're 5 weeks on in. We have a week to go. We're well over 12,000 responses. We're hoping to get 15,000. What you find, Terry, is you go through these little lulls. And the lulls are based on how people get their news. So the first thing I want to do is I really want to acknowledge some of our media partners, because we've had some just incredible media partners. You know, both Hugo and Gabriel with Victor Valley News Press. Our longtime friend, Steve Hunt, who is deceased and whose services I'll be at very, very soon. Scott has taken over as the city editor with the Daily Press and has just done a great job. We have J.R. Love with the Love Media publications at Silver Lakes and Spring Valley Lake. You got Don Fish out there at the Pinion Hills feeling. You have the people in the Mountaineer Progress. They just recently ran another article. Somebody that just seems to be stepping up their game all the time is Katrina Sieverts. With the Mojave River Valley News and the Senior News and the Community News. Not only has she been very vocal, but she is a staunch supporter of this. She's a staunch supporter of the Mojave River Valley, as I am. We've had great help with Lola over at El Dorado Broadcasting. They now own all the stations. They're hoping in the last couple days to be able to translate the press release into Spanish to be able to test their market, because now this week they've gone to their Hispanic. There's I think 2 or 3 of their stations. What has been interesting is unless you put something out on a given day, you don't see the spike. Now, for instance, Dan Harley. Dan is great with Facebook, has a lot of followers. He put out something 10 days ago and there was a spike. We can tell when Lisa and Dennis Verhagen at Spring Valley Lake on their Spring Valley group, when they do something. Spring Valley Lake Association did an email blast originally. They have actually put it on their website. They've done another email blast last week, and we expect that they're going to do one here today. So you really have a wide variety of partners on out there. I'd be remiss if I didn't, say something, about Lamar Advertising, and they donated a billboard out on I-15. So we're at 12,000, we're hoping to get to 15,000. I think that, last week, with our 2 shootings in the city of Victor within a matter of hours, that shakes people on up. And as I have run into people, whether I'm at High Desert Church, just a couple days ago, where people said, yeah, I've done it. Anybody that sees this, I'm not begging you, I'm just asking you as a resident of the High Desert region, Mojave River Valley region, to ask 50 of your friends. Facebook it this week. It's September 15th at 5 o'clock p.m. we cut off. What is interesting is how competitive the race is between Apple Valley, the city of Apple Valley, Victorville, and Hesperia. Okay, wow. So I'm going to reach out to city managers hopefully the next day or so, or I think that April will, and say, you're neck and neck. They're within like 100 votes, and we're talking about 2,500 people in their cities. Barstow's at about 400, and so is Adelanto. We've seen a nice little spike in Spring Valley Lake that we see from the Verhagen, so we think that part of it also came from the association. So at the end of the day, if we get 14,000, we have enough data to then qualify. To quantify. What has happened during this last month, though, is we have been contacted by Matthew Wells, who is the executive director of the High Desert Pathways program, the Mojave Valley Pathways, in conjunction with Dr. Ted Alejandre and Barbara Alejandre and all the superintendents on up here in education. So it looks like we're going to be meeting sometime here in the early part of October to discuss how we expand the report. Might cost a little bit more money to really see where does education fall within this. So that's pretty exciting. I'll close and I'll tell you this, because this is going to be up like within hours at the college. We have our board meeting, and Dr. Walden commissioned a study to take a look at what are the gaps of education that we're offering or not offering, and what are the most likely occupations that people will be hired in the next 5, 10, and 20 years. It's absolutely an amazing study. So probably tonight, Dr. Virginia Moran, who oversees our research, will give an overview of what the gap analysis is. So when people say, what's a gap analysis? I call it a void analysis. You take a look at what is the supply of gas? what is the demand for gas? So the supply for gas, let's use Barstow because that's a pretty easy, because the amount of travelers that go through. The researchers figure out how many gallons of gas the average household would use in a year, and they multiply it by the number of people. So in Barstow, they have about 23,000. The problem is the amount of gas that is demand versus supply is 5 times that with the amount of people coming through town. So we're always looking at what is the need. So we know that the largest number of employers in the county, I was really surprised, is government. At 90 some odd thousand people involved in the government. That's not really good. I mean, I've got a lot of friends in government, but I don't think we need that many people. So Dr. Moran's going to give about a 10-minute overview tonight about VVC and where we're going to start taking a look at some of our programs and classes to really align what people need. So that's also really exciting.
This online report presented by Bradco Companies, the Community Table Restaurant, and the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting every effort to improve the quality of life and standard of living for all residents throughout our high desert communities.
So